Hi, Sophia. Welcome to Diaspora Food Stories. You are
Hi,
the most
Janice.
welcome
Thank
today.
you. Thank you so
Sophia,
much.
you are a Portuguese woman, daughter of Cape Verdean parents. So you are part of this global diaspora nation. Tell our listeners, Sophia, more about who you are.
Hmm. So, hey, I'm Sophia. Thank you first and foremost. Thank you. Thank you, Cherie. Thank you to Cuisine Noir and the amazing job that you all are doing. So I'm so proud of being part of that, this amazing job. Hey, I'm Sophia, Ana Sofia. I consider myself an Afropolitan woman. A Cape Verdean, Afro Portuguese, Afro Cape Verdean, Afro Cape Verdean, Cape Verdean as well, definitely. But yeah, a child of the diaspora, but definitely a Portuguese woman as well, all in once.
Mhm.
All of that coexist in one person. So I'm so blessed to have all of that in my life and being part of this amazing diaspora. So I was born and raised in Lisbon, born and raised. My parents came from the islands of Santiago, Cape Verde. They were the first generation to came to Portugal. They came in the beginning of the 70s. My parents, they met in Lisbon, in São Bento, for all the diaspora. When the Cape Verdeans start to come to Portugal, they would stop in São Bento. That was the place of Cape Verdeans in the 60s, late 60s and 70s, through the 80s as well, and even a little bit to the 90s.
Mhm.
Then we change, of course. So, hey, I was born to this amazing family of Cape Verdeans. Had I don't know, family values, very strict parents. As
Mhm.
Cape Verdeans, we know what I'm
Yes,
talking, not
yes,
just the Cape
definitely.
Verdeans.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
Cambodians.
we know.
Yeah, we
I'm
know
the
that.
fifth of five children. I'm the fifth. I'm the
Mm,
baby.
mm,
I'm,
mm.
as we say, Kode, the
Yes,
youngest. So hey, I've been blessed.
I am the oldest,
Oh, ooh,
Yeah,
what
the
a
oldest.
difference! What a
Of
difference!
four.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. The oldest, they always have much more
Hmm.
responsibilities.
Hmm. So
So
you might be someone that your parents might love you a lot, huh? Being the
yes, true.
code.
It's true. It's true. My siblings, they were all always very jealous saying that my parents love me the most,
Hmm.
but it's not. It's just that I'm the baby.
Hmm. The baby of the house.
Exactly. And my parents, they had for the four children, they had all one after the other one, and they thought that they
Okay.
will have just four. But
Hmm.
I, boom, I had to come. So
Fortunately, you came.
yes, fortunately I came.
Hmm.
So it was good. I had a great childhood. My parents both so hardworking. Even now I remember and think, oh, they were so restrict and so conservative. But now I'm so blessed that they were like that because they gave me
Hmm.
the amazing
Hmm.
values and education and love.
I feel you. Hmm.
Yes. So now I'm okay. Even though I don't agree with everything, but I understand.
Yeah, you
I
understand.
understand. So yes, I've been blessed. I grew up in an amazing family. I had a great childhood. I was super super spoiled. I'm not ashamed of saying that I was a spoiled girl. I was. I'm not ashamed at all. So I
Hmm.
like to be. So I came this family. My mom was a hardworking woman. She's the first child of 10 siblings. So
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
she always, family was always very important to her and to, my dad as well. My dad as well, he was very hardworking. They both were hardworking. They met when they were in. My dad was 21, my mom was 19. So
Mhm.
they fall in love, and my dad said, "You're going to be my wife." And
Yeah, Sophia, it's the same for my dad. He just, picked my mom. She was at school, and he told her, "You're gonna be my wife."
yes, Cape Verdeans are like that.
They are like that, huh? They
They
are like
are
that.
just like that.
They are just like that. They just, pick us like that.
And just like that, and just and now I love that actually about my
But it doesn't happen nowadays. It's not.
no,
It's not.
no, it's not this.
Nowadays, there are those who says that it's not a good thing to be done. Just pick women like that. But in their time,
It
they
was
were.
so
Yeah.
beautiful. It was so
Hmm.
beautiful. I tell you, it was so
Yeah. Yeah.
beautiful. But
Mhm.
hey, so they married. They work a lot. My mom worked for many years cleaning houses. My dad never wanted my mom to work, but my mom said no. A woman should have her own money, and we never
Mhm.
know, and to elevate the man.
Mhm.
And that's true,
Mhm.
actually. So then my dad was an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
He was in the we say empreiteiro. He worked in the constructions.
Uh-huh. Mhm. Uh-huh.
Yes, not yes. I forgot the name in English.
I forgot the name in English
In
as well,
English
but
as well.
at the construction sector. Mhm.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
he was one of the first entrepreneurs, Cape Verdeans, in the late 80s and 90s.
And
Yes.
how do you feel about that? This is amazing.
Yes, it is. Before it was normal, later on with my life, I learned that it was actually a great school.
Hmm.
And see my dad as a black man, as a Cape Verdean man, he
Hmm.
never was ashamed of nothing. He was always
Hmm.
very
Hmm.
straight, and he walked
Hmm.
straight, and he would talk with. I remember I would be in some of his meetings, me a child, always because I was always around my dad. He
Nice.
would speak with the engineers and everything straight, no,
To the
carving
uh-huh.
or nothing, never.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So he always teach me that you can do whatever you want,
Hmm.
but representing Cape Verde, you're Cape
Yeah.
Verdean.
Hmm.
Actually, my dad will always say you are African, not just Cape Verdean.
Hmm. I'm
Um,
African.
yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So, and you know that in our culture, it's not many Cape Verdeans that said that. Now, more and more are saying
We have this identity issues. So we
we
still
have,
have. Yeah.
we
Hmm.
have.
Hmm.
So my dad always told me that we were Africans, that we are Cape Verdeans now, but Cape Verde is recent. But definitely that we were kings and queens before I was like 4 years old. So he
Hmm.
would take me to his meetings. Sometimes I would go many places with my dad. I would just absorb naturally because my dad always told me that I had a talent to be whatever I wanted.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Mhm.
Tell us what you remember most about okay, you told us about your dad, about your mom, how they met, how amazing, your dad and your mom, their story is so amazing and inspiring now.
Yes.
Do you remember anything else about your childhood growing up in Lisbon?
Man.
It's a specific thing. Being a Cape Verdean, as you introduce yourself as a Cape Verdean, nice. Growing up in Lisbon, how was it growing up in a city, a nice city though, like Lisbon?
I can tell you many stories. I have a great memory. So
Mm-hmm.
we can start as hey. So we grow up in a community called now it's not existent. It is existing the Alt Santa Catarina, but it's not existing the neighborhood, the hood.
Okay,
Okay.
due to
So
the gentrification of the city, right?
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Because
Mhm.
there's a misunderstanding as well. Because when Cape Verdeans came to Portugal, the Portuguese government they invite us to come to work. Okay. They came,
Mm.
they invite us to come. It was not just us coming through. They invite us. They give us free pass
I
to come
know.
and do the work that
Mm, mm,
the Portuguese white didn't want
uh-huh.
you to do, right? So
Mhm.
our parents came through. And our parents came, but we as Cape Verdeans, there's a lot of Cape Verdeans. We have a lot of land and many things. Not because there's a misunderstanding like, oh, you came from the islands is because you were hungry. No, it's not true.
Mhm.
Because many people that live
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
Santiago, they had everything. And now we from the diaspora are learning that. Me, I had the pleasure, the honor of knowing all of these things. So me growing up as a Cape Verdean woman,
Mhm.
as a black woman in Lisbon, I was born in 85. So there was still a lot of, of course, racism will never stop, okay? But before was blamed, like it was disrespectful, right? It was hard.
Mhm.
It was hard for many people, but me, as I saw, I had this amazing example of my parents. I never saw my parents being just backing down and just being this kind of black people that are just being submissive. No, I saw them being hardworking. I grew up in this amazing community called Alto Santa Catarina in Oeiras. Okay, there
Oh,
was
yeah.
other neighborhoods. We had Miraflores, we had Lim Ferreira, we had
Mhm.
Barronhos, and Alto Santa Catarina. There were the main ones were Alto Santa Catarina and Miraflores. So I grew up in that place. That was amazing. I grew up with so many Cape Verdeans from all the islands. We were there. There was no separation or nothing. We were grew up all together, but mainly in a black neighborhood, in a Cape Verde neighborhood. So in the hood, in the community, we lived good. Of course, there were people that lived uh, better than the other ones. Okay, I had the luckiness of living a good life. I don't know
Mhm.
what is not
Yeah, okay,
having
very nice.
food or
Mhm.
not having light or not having clothing. I don't know what is
Did they
that.
used to call you princess because of having
Yes,
a better status?
yes, definitely.
Mhm.
Yes. Still now, because I know many people that now they come to my restaurant, people from the
Mhm.
community, they say, oh yeah, oh we work with your dad. Oh she's the daughter of this such and such. We work with your dad. We know your mom. Yes, of
Mhm.
course. Of course, we
Mhm.
know we have a lot. I start to notice that later on because I had some of my colleagues that they didn't had, for example, luxury. Because I say luxury is having all the dolls and all the sneakers. This is
Mhm.
luxury.
All the Barbies.
All the Barbies, right?
I used to bring those Barbies from the US.
Okay, so
And
that's
a lot
luxury
of the children, they used to come to our house
to play with
just
them.
to see those Barbies from the US.
Exactly. As in my place as well, in my home, it was like that. So,
Mhm.
of course, later on, I start to see that I had. Then I went to this private school in Restelo. This
Gostei.
school was called Estrenato Santa Maria de Belém.
Mhm,
There
mhm,
was like, imagine 50 people, 50 kids, or
mhm.
80 kids, and four were black. That was hard.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It
That
happened
was
with me.
extremely hard. And my parents, when they put me in that school, they thought it was the best for me. I can imagine that. Oh, I'm going to, I have a good life now. I'm going to put my daughter in this amazing school. It's so privileged. But actually, my life was being miserable. The first time I experienced racism was in that school. In that school, I learned that my color was
Mhm,
powerful.
mhm, mhm.
Okay, I don't like to say, oh, that my skin is different. No, no, what's powerful? 'Cause
Powerful.
we are powerful.
We are.
So from that day, one day I came to school because there were some children calling me nigger, 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 and all of that. And I came home crying, said, Dad, I don't want to be a nigger. And my dad was like, Who told you that? Who told you that? And I said, you know, those kids in school, they were telling me that I'm a nigger. I should go to my land. And my dad sit down with my mother and my mom very calmly. My dad said, look at me. Look in the mirror. Look at you. You know you're beautiful. This skin
Wow.
tone is a badge of honor, royalty. Unfortunately, this will not be the last time.
Mm.
But today I will teach you that you came from royalty. Unfortunately, there will be many people saying that those things, but you have to be very strong.
Mhm.
That's why I always told you that you are African, not a Cape Verdean. And you will learn many things. I want you to go to school. And school, you're going to learn many things, but it's not just in school. So I'm going to teach you that, they will not teach you in schools that the Africans, the Egyptians built the pyramids were black people.
Mhm.
And so my dad gave me this empowerment. I was like, what? I'm going to the school. I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to put you all in your place. Because my dad told me I'm a queen
Yeah, a queen.
and no one will take me that power away from me. So
Mhm.
next day
Mhm.
I came to school. Oh my gosh, full of power. I wanted people to tell me I'm a nigger.
Yeah.
I wanted them to tell me that I'm a nigger.
Okay.
So I went to school and the same kids were nigger and say, look, I'm not a nigger. I'm a I'm a queen. My dad
Mhm.
told me.
Queen.
We built the pyramids. We are kings and queens. You'll never learn that. And you're so thinking that you're white. Yes, the white is the white paper that I clean my ass. I was like that. My dad told me that.
Well said.
And my dad told me that. And my mom said, don't say
Was a
that.
complex well
But
said.
I went and I said, and when I said that, they gave me a slap and I punched them.
Uh-huh.
So what happened in that? I had a professor, a teacher. She always saw the kids telling me I was a nigger. She never said nothing.
No, they don't. They normally they don't say nothing. Yeah.
But the day I came full of power and I
Hmm.
said who I am,
And she was a Portuguese, right? A
Portuguese. And you
white.
know what she did? She gave me a slap and called me a savage.
Yeah. Sure. 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 I'm not surprised.
Right?
Not surprised.
No,
Hmm.
I'm not surprised either. But knowing what I know right now, I'm
Hmm.
37 years old.
Yeah.
So
At
I
that
came
time.
home. I was extremely, sad. So I came home. I told my parents, ooh, Cape Verdeans, my parents
Yeah.
were,
Yeah.
what?
Pissed off. They were so. Yeah. They had
I'm
to
going to
resolve
this.
the issue.
So my
Sure.
parents went to school, my mom and my dad.
Of course.
My parents had a conversation with the director that
Hmm.
actually I don't think he was a racist because his son was always around me,
Okay.
and his son was very cool. We were always good friends. I don't
Hmm.
think that they had that in their mind, but hey,
Who
this
knows?
who knows? We never know. So,
Hmm.
by my parents were like, my dad said, I want to punch this lady. I want to punch her in her face. Like, I want to punch her so bad. Like, who is she to touch in my child? You know, I'm not that type of black man that is going to back down and coming and being submissive. No, you're not
Hmm.
touching my child. I
Hmm.
put my child in this school because I
It
thought
was a
it
nice
was
place.
good for her. But
Uh-huh.
I'm seeing that no, my child will be unhappy here. And I don't
Hmm.
want my child here. I'm going to take you to the court. I don't want my child here. You guys are nasty. I don't want my child. And he was excusing and say sorry, do not take Sophia from here. And my dad said no. I don't want this lady. And he was like, he was not even saying
Uh-huh.
lady, but
Hmm.
let's leave it to that.
Yeah,
But
let's leave into that. I know
my
exactly what you meant. Right.
but my
Uh-huh.
mom was like, no, I'm going to take this lady to court because she should not touch my child. never, because they saw my child being abused. Never, they never say anything. So if my child is being abused like here, I will take my child to the public school where she's going to be with people like her, okay, that lives like her, and she can identify. And that was, that was a big problem, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I went to the public school. And it was the best decision in my parents made, because then I was with, so many people that
Yeah,
look like me.
interacting. Uh-huh.
Exactly. And there was other problems with, teachers being racist, yes, but after that, after that first encounter, I learned. I learned. And there was teachers that I eventually met other teachers, but
Mhm.
since the school was majority black, they had to leave
Yeah.
because,
They had to deal with it.
yeah. And they had to leave because people were like, no, we are going to say, we don't want no teachers that are racist. If you're a racist, you like, go to another school, go to just a white school or whatever, where the majority are not black. So
Mhm.
that was my first encounter. But I didn't let that stop me. I think because, not I think, I believe that my parents gave me the best education. I'm so blessed because they gave me always strength, and not all black homes are like that. My parents always teach me how special I was. I first time I went to Cape Verde, I was 7 years old. Then from that, I always came to Cape Verde.
And how
I,
did you find, the first time you came to Cape
oh my
Verde?
gosh, I loved it because I could be free, right? I could run
Oh,
away
run
with
away.
my cousins. I could walk without shoes,
Uh-huh.
and just going to because my mom, my parents, they are from Santiago, my Santa
Uh-huh.
Cruz,
Hmm.
and my grandmother, she had a big house like with everything,
Hmm.
bananas,
Bananas, I
coconut,
was mentioning bananas.
mangoes, and my parents, my dad as well, from Santa Cruz, Makati, Roberta Seca. So
Nice.
beautiful.
Beautiful places.
I know, I know, I know. So I was blessed. So for me, it was amazing. I was like, I want to live here. I want to live here, But the kids there, they always wanted to come to Europe. But from here, we definitely found more attractive being there. So I've always been to Cape Verde
Hmm.
many times. So I'm blessed because I know other peers of mine, other friends that never been to Cape Verde, others
Hmm.
that don't identify with Cape Verde.
Yeah.
I'm so blessed that I came to Cape Verde. I went to Cape Verde. I see my grandmother. The culture of the sense of giving the blessings to the children. The respect. It's a totally different vibe. So hey, I'm
Amazing.
loving.